Hey everyone, ready for another deep dive. Today, today we're going to be talking about hobbies.
Ooh, fun.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
I love hobbies.
Yeah, you and me both.
Right.
Um, so picture this: you're at a party
Okay.
or you're on a trip and you meet someone new, and they ask you,
Oh, this is terrifying.
yeah, and they say like, "Hey, what do you like to do for fun?"
Oh, yeah, I've been there.
And you suddenly freeze up.
Yeah.
We're going to help you not freeze up.
That's a classic situation for language learners.
We're going to help you with that today.
Yeah, it's so common.
So, we've got these really great beginner English learning materials.
Okay, cool.
And the teachers are Shiro and Amelia.
All right, I like them already.
Yeah, they're great. And they're going to be sort of our guides today as we go through this material.
Awesome.
So
Where did they start?
let's see. Well, they start with vocabulary,
Okay.
which makes sense, right? You
Yeah.
gotta
Yeah, I mean, you got to know the words.
know what you're talking about.
You can't speak if you don't know the word.
Exactly.
Makes sense.
Um, so they have some pretty interesting words in here.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Okay, like what?
well, they have the classics.
Hmm.
You know, like reading and traveling, listening to
Yeah,
music.
with basics.
But then they also have like photography
Ooh.
and gardening.
Oh, nice. Those are good ones.
And I was thinking like,
Why those?
yeah, why not just
Stick with like the super common words.
the super easy ones?
Right.
Right.
Um,
Well, I think it's important to,
yeah.
include a range of hobbies, right?
Yeah.
You want to be able to express
Yeah.
your unique self.
Totally.
I mean, like imagine
Ah.
if you were a
Yeah.
big gardener
Right.
and you could only talk about like
All right.
watching TV.
Right.
That wouldn't be very fun.
No, it wouldn't.
So giving people the vocabulary to talk about
Yeah.
what they actually love, I think is key.
That's such a good point.
Right.
I never really thought about it that way. But yeah, if you're trying to learn English.
Yeah. You want to be able to talk about what you're interested in
Exactly.
and what's important to you.
It's all about self-expression.
Right.
Exactly. I mean, I think that also makes it more fun,
Right.
right?
For sure.
Like when you can connect the words to your own passions, it becomes less of a chore.
And more personal.
More like an adventure.
Yes.
Like you're discovering something new.
It's like an adventure.
Exactly.
Okay, cool. So we got our vocabulary down.
All right.
Now what about grammar?
Grammar.
The fun stuff.
Ooh, the building blocks of
The
language.
nuts and bolts.
Yeah, that's right.
So Sherrero and Amelia are focusing on this one really simple structure
Okay.
I like, plus a verb ending in ing.
All right. Classic.
I like reading.
Mm.
I like swimming.
Yeah.
I like
Podcasting.
podcasting.
I mean, this takes me back to like
What
pretty
now?
new language.
Yeah. Well,
I remember
what?
doing these kinds of exercises. Yeah. It's a classic for a reason.
Right. I mean, it's
Why is it such a classic?
well, it's so versatile.
Okay.
You can express so many different things.
Yeah.
But keep the grammar super simple.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That's true.
And it's also like a stepping stone to other
Yeah.
more complicated grammar.
You're advanced.
Right? Like the present continuous tense.
Yeah.
You're laying the groundwork
Yeah.
for
You're,
that.
you're building like a foundation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Building that foundation.
And then from there, you can add more. That's it. Complexity.
Totally.
So like instead of saying, I like reading, you could say, I like reading historical fiction novels in cozy cafes.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're getting
fancy.
You're becoming fluent.
Yeah, that's right.
Cool.
And you know what else I like about this?
Well,
They don't just teach you to say you like something.
Right.
They also teach you to say
You don't like something.
you don't like it.
Which is important.
Right.
Yeah. You got to be honest.
You can't be lying all the time.
Right. You don't want to
Yeah.
pretend to like basketball
Right?
if you actually hate it.
Exactly.
Be true to yourself.
Be yourself.
Yeah. Authenticity.
Right.
Right.
So,
And, imagine being forced to pretend you love basketball
oh yeah.
when you actually,
I hate that.
yeah,
Yeah.
right. So
So being able to say, I don't like,
that's important.
is liberating.
It's freeing.
Yeah, it sets you free.
Yes, it does.
All right, well, we've talked about the vocabulary.
Wow.
We've talked about the grammar.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what about, like,
What about putting it all together?
Yeah.
The real deal.
putting it into practice?
Real conversations.
Yeah, how do we actually, like, use this?
Right.
It can be intimidating,
It can be scary.
to go from the textbook to, like, an actual conversation.
Totally.
So,
what do they do?
well, that's where this sample dialogue comes in that Chero and Amelia have put together.
So they give us like an example.
An example, yeah.
Right, yeah.
It's like a MIDI conversation.
Nice.
So you can see exactly how all of this works together.
All right. Let's dive into that.
Yeah. Let's break it down and see what we can learn from it.
I'm excited. Okay, so let's take a look at this dialogue. What do you notice about it?
Well, the first thing that jumps out at me is that it's super simple.
It is. It is.
Like the sentences are really short and clear, and they're really focusing on that
Totally.
structure we were just talking about, like, do you like, plus the activity.
Yeah, exactly.
Like Cheryl asks Amelia, do you like cooking?
Right.
And Amelia's like, no, I don't like cooking. I prefer going out to eat at restaurants.
Yeah, it's super straightforward.
So
it's like almost like a script. Intentional.
Yeah, but in a good way.
Right.
Yeah, like it's...
They're giving you that framework.
It's like a framework.
Yeah.
So you can like...
Training wheels.
Yeah, training wheel.
For your first conversations about hobbies.
Yeah. You just plug in your own hobbies.
Plug and play.
And preferences, and boom.
You're talking.
You're off to the races.
Right.
But wouldn't that get kind of boring?
Well, yeah, if you just stuck with those exact phrases.
Right.
But the idea is to use this as like a starting point.
A launch pad.
Yeah, a launch pad.
Once you're comfortable, you can start
adding your own...
adding your own personality.
Exactly.
So like instead of just saying, yes, I like reading, I could say, oh yeah, I'm a total bookworm.
Nice.
I love getting lost in fantasy novels.
That's it.
Especially ones with dragons and magic.
Yeah.
You know?
So you're adding those details.
I'm giving them the details.
Yeah, about what kind of books you're like.
Right.
That's what makes it interesting.
It's all about those personal touches.
Yeah, those little glimpses into who you are.
It's like you're giving them a little peek.
That's it.
Into your soul.
Into your bookworm soul.
My bookworm soul.
Yeah, that's right.
So it's not just about what to say.
Right.
It's about...
It's how to build on it.
Building on it, yeah.
Right.
And making it your own.
That's where the magic happens.
It's like learning an instrument.
Ooh, I like that.
Right. Like you start with the scales.
Yeah.
And the simple melodies.
All right, the basics.
But then you improvise.
You start jamming.
You're making your own music.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like language, too.
Totally. Once you have those basic skills, you can start to play around and express yourself.
Be creative.
In new ways.
That's awesome.
Right.
Okay, I love that analogy.
I'm full of them.
So we've got the building blocks.
We do.
We're starting to improvise a little bit. But what about like...
What about when you
get stuck?
That wall.
You hit a wall.
Yeah.
Like you're in a conversation and it just like...
Awkward silence.
Yeah.
Nobody knows what to say.
Yeah, crickets.
Yeah.
Cheryl and Amelia's conversation flowed so smoothly.
It did. It was very natural.
Yeah.
Like, how do we recreate that?
How do we get that magic?
Yeah.
In real life?
Well, I think one thing to notice is that they're really focusing on the activity itself. Like, they don't just say, I like it or I don't like it. They give reasons.
They elaborate.
Yeah, they expand on it.
Right.
Like Amelia says, I prefer going out to eat at restaurants.
Yeah.
It's not just a flat no, like no but.
No but.
Here's what I like to do instead.
It's like she's keeping the conversation going.
Exactly.
Yeah.
She's inviting Cheryl to like connect with her.
Even though they have different...
Right.
Even though...
Yeah. That's really interesting.
Right. So you can still, even if you don't.
Yeah.
Like the same things.
Yeah, find common ground.
Yeah.
By talking about
like why?
And connect.
Yeah. And like what else you like to do.
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
It's all about like...
It's about connection.
Yeah. Right. It's like the social element of language.
Totally.
It's not just about the grammar and the vocabulary. It's about...
It's about using it to connect.
To make friends.
With people.
Yeah.
To build relationships.
Share experiences.
That's it.
Okay. So it's like talking about hobbies. Is this like...
It's like a social lubricant.
Yes.
It helps things flow.
It helps you break the ice.
Right. Okay, cool.
So
we've talked about vocabulary, grammar, conversation.
The real deal.
Yeah.
Those nitty-gritty details.
The nitty-gritty.
Yeah.
But what about like...
What about when you want to...
When you want to get more advanced.
Yeah.
Like what if you have a really specific hobby?
Right.
Or like you're passionate about...
multiple things.
Yeah, multiple things. How do you like...
How do you express that?
Yeah, how do you express that complexity?
Ooh, good question.
In English.
That means you're ready.
Yeah.
For the next level.
I'm leveling up.
Leveling up your English.
I'm ready.
That's awesome.
Yeah, like we've mastered the basics.
Yeah.
Now I want to...
Now you want to get fancy.
Get fancy.
Yeah.
But how?
How do we do that? It's like We've learned the basic colors,
Mm-hmm.
but now we want all the shades.
The whole rainbow.
The whole
all the nuances.
Right, all the subtleties.
Okay, so how do we get there?
Well, you got to expand your palette.
Okay.
Your linguistic palette.
Okay.
So start looking for resources
Yeah.
that go beyond the beginner level.
Okay.
Like look for idioms,
Okay.
phrasal verbs, more complex grammar.
More advanced stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
So instead of saying I like photography, I could say
Yeah.
I'm really into street photography. I love capturing candid moments of everyday life.
Perfect.
Like that.
That's exactly what I mean.
Okay, cool.
You've added so much more detail.
Yeah.
You've told us what kind of photography you like.
Right, what I'm interested in.
And you've given us like a sense of why you like it.
Yeah, because I like those candid moments.
Exactly.
Cool.
So it's like you're painting a picture.
Yeah, with words.
With words.
That's it.
I like that.
But what about when you have...
multiple passions.
Yeah, what if you like a lot of things?
I do. I like a lot of things.
I know, me too.
What do I do then?
Well, you can use conjunctions.
Okay.
But also...
Right.
to connect them all.
To connect all my hobbies.
Yeah. You can rank them.
Oh, like this is my favorite.
Yeah, this is my number one.
And then this is my second favorite.
This one's a close second.
You can talk about how they relate to each other.
So, like, for example, I could say I'm a big fan of outdoor activities like hiking, but I also love expressing myself creatively through music and playing the ukulele. And when I'm not doing either of those things, I'm probably scouring flea markets for vintage postcards. I have a whole collection.
That's amazing. You just did it.
I did it.
You connected all your passion.
Look at me go.
And you use such great language.
Did I?
Yeah, big fan. Expressing myself creatively, scouring flea markets.
Yeah, I'm getting fancy.
You're leveling up.
This is awesome.
Right.
I'm feeling so much more confident.
That's what we like to hear.
I know I can talk about my hobbies now.
You got it.
In English.
And you know what? The more you practice,
the
easier it gets.
Really?
Becomes more natural.
So I just got to keep talking.
Keep talking, keep practicing.
Keep practicing. Don't be afraid to make mistakes.
That's how you learn.
That's how you learn.
Embrace those mistakes.
All right, I can do that.
You got this.
So to wrap things up,
yes.
What are our key takeaways from today?
All right, so number one.
Okay.
Vocabulary.
Vocabulary.
Learn those high-frequency words.
High frequency.
Yeah, the ones you're going to use.
The important ones.
All the time.
Got it.
Number two.
That
grammar structure.
I like plus verb ending in ing.
Yes.
I'm going to master that.
Master it.
Okay.
And then three.
Practice
those conversation starters.
Yeah, those simple ones.
Yeah. Get comfortable with them.
Okay.
But don't stop there.
Don't stop there.
Go beyond the basics.
Go beyond, get fancy.
Get fancy, use those idioms and phrasal verbs.
All the cool stuff.
Right.
And most importantly, have fun.
Yes. Language learning should be fun.
It should be an adventure.
An adventure. That's it.
Not a chore.
Exactly.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive.
It was my pleasure.
It's so much fun talking about hobbies.
I love talking about hobbies.
I know you do.
Everyone's got them.
And to all of our listeners out there.
Yes.
We want to hear from you.
What are your hobbies?
What are you passionate about?
How would you describe them?
In English.
Think about it.
Jot down some ideas.
Practice those phrases.
Yeah.
And most importantly, go out there and have those conversations.
Yes. Talk to people.
Share your passions.
Don't be shy.
Let your hobby shine.
In English.
You got this.
All right. Thanks, everyone, for listening. See ya.